Hello everyone, welcome back to PyNet Labs. My name is Chirag and in the video today we are looking at YAML. YAML, which stands for YAML Ain't Markup Language, is heavily used in network automation. So if you are someone who is looking forward to CCNA automation or CCNA DevNet, then this video will be helpful for you to teach you in detail about YAML language. Today we'll be exploring how YAML looks like, and we'll also look at an example of playbook that we can construct for using configuration or deploying configuration on the router using the Ansible technology. When we talk about network automation space, Ansible is a renowned tool, or we can say renowned way of automating the day-to-day activities or bulk configuration. And Ansible works with playbook files. These playbook files are written in YAML language, so it's going to help you in understanding how these files are constructed. Let's get started without wasting any time and realize what YAML is. When we talk about YAML, the main goal of creating this language was to make it very much human readable. So
If you enjoyed the content of the video, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.
first of all, YAML stands for YAML Ain't Markup Language. And the very main and key characteristic of it is that it is very much human readable. Even when we talk about the main design goals of YAML, the very first point that was considered while creating YAML is that it has to be easily readable by humans. So the very first design goal is to be easily readable by humans. Then the second one is to ensure that it is easily portable between programming languages. So to be portable between programming languages. Then the third design goal is to match native data structure of most modern programming languages. And the fourth one is to have a consistent model to support generic tools. To have a consistent model to support generic tools. And then finally, to be easily implementable and usable. So we can say to be easy to implement and use. These are few of the design goals that were considered before creating the YAML language, and they justify all of them. The language is very much simple and easy. When you will look at an example of it, you will realize that syntactical requirements are very, very less. So it makes it simple to see and view, right? And when it is easy to read, easy to write, it makes the programming process also very much simpler and easier. So let's have a quick understanding of how YAML data looks like. I'll take an example here. Let's assume that we have a router 1 details, and the router 1 details include address of that router, which is, let's say, 10.1.1.1. Then the state of the router, whether the router is operational or not, right? Which is, let's say, true. Then we can say the interfaces which are there on the router, which can be multiple in numbers, right? So we'll assume that we have got 3 interfaces: gig 0/0, gig 0/1, and gig 0/3. Sorry, gig 0/2. These are the 3 interfaces. This is the address. This is the state of my router. Now I'll try to write this data in a YAML file. So whenever we create a YAML file, always remember one thing: there will be keys and there will be values. Okay. So when we write something in YAML, there are going to be keys and value pair. But before even getting to the key and value pair, or before understanding the syntax, it is very important to know that a YAML file will always be started with triple hyphens. So when I write this data in YAML, it will begin with triple hyphens like this, right? And then there are going to be the keys and values pair. So like in this case, we have a key called router number 1, to which value is all this, right? So we'll say there is a key called router 1, and the value that we want to associate with it is going to be done with the help of a simple colon, nothing else. No quotation marks, no commas, no curly brackets, no square brackets, nothing. Just simple indentation and the use of dash, which we also call as hyphen, can be enough for you to write a YAML file. So we have a router 1 as our key, and then inside that we have address as a part of information, right? So because it is inside router 1, it is important that we put space or indentation correctly before the key address. So I'll say address like this, address. And the value to address will be written using a colon and then 10.1.1. Simple, isn't it? Then similarly, the operational state, true. Then we have interfaces. Now interfaces are multiple in number. It's a list that contains gig00, gig01 and gig0/2, right? So whenever you have multiple items, you use dashes. Dashes or the hyphens, like I told you earlier. So because you have multiple items, you will put a hyphen followed by a space and then gig 0/0 like this. Another hyphen, gig 0/1. Another hyphen, gig 0/2. And when you are done, you can close your file with triple periods. So again, it will begin with triple hyphen, it will be closed with triple periods. Inside that there will be key and then there will be values. There will be key, there will be a value. There will be key, there will be a value. Now value can also be a list. So we will have a key and then there can be multiple items which we define using these hyphens. That's all. No quotation marks, no square brackets, no commas, nothing. As simple as that. Now you look at this data, it's very easy. Compare it with XML and JSON and you'll realize how simpler and easier it is to write this data and to read this data. Using this exact format, we create playbook files, which we use with Ansible for creating configuration on devices. So let's have a look at that also so that we get a real life example of how YAML file looks like. Yeah, I'll open my lab setup. So I have already created the basic setup, which includes a router, which is pre-configured with SSH configurations, as that is what we require for using Ansible. Then it includes a host file. So this includes a host file which contains all the details about my router which is connected. We have the IP, we have the operating system, username, credentials. And then finally, now we are going to create the playbook file, which is going to be written in YAML to create configuration on my router. Now, understanding the Ansible components is not our concern. That's why we are also not talking about it right now. But yeah, right now, the main idea that we are here to take is about the playbook file, because that's what we write in the language YAML, right? So let's get started. Let's construct our playbook file. Like I told you earlier also, the playbook file is something which is written in YAML, and I'll just close this, yeah. And because it's a YAML file, we will begin it with triple hyphens and we will end it with triple dots or triple periods. Inside that, we can specify all our keys and values. So the very first key that we will put inside it is going to be name. That's going to be the name of my playbook file. So name colon, I'll call it my first playbook file. That's the name of my file. Enter. Now, spacing needs to be taken care of very crucially and very critically, because indentation problems or the dash problems, these are the two basic things that this file requires, right? And if you mess it up at this also, then there will be errors and you will not be able to run your file. So make sure you bring your cursor in the appropriate line, and the appropriate spacing is also 2 spaces, not the tab button, but 2 spaces. So we have defined the component name. The next thing that I'll specify here is about the host devices that I want to configure. So host colon, and the group of the devices that I wish to configure is routers, which is defined inside my host file. I can show you, yeah, here. After this, gather facts will keep disabled. We'll set it as no. So gather facts is a key and no is the value. Then the type of connection is network CLI. Now the value or the key name might not be making sense right now because this is not dedicated to Ansible discussion. But yeah, I just want you guys to understand the syntax here for YAML. We'll be looking at the Ansible part in some other video. So connection is going to be network CLI, that defines the type of connection. And then I'll get started with defining my tasks. So tasks colon enter. Now this can contain multiple items, like multiple tasks can be there. One task can be about configuring loopback, other can be about configuring OSPF, the third can be about configuring ACL. So I'll put a hyphen and I'll specify that the name of the first task is configuring loopback interface. And to run this task, we will use a module called iOS config. Inside iOS config, we will specify the component parents as interface loopback, let's say 100. So a little bit of explanation here. iOS config is a predefined module that we use for writing CLI commands. Parent command is that command which you use for entering or getting started with the configuration. So interface loopback 100 will take me to interface configuration mode, right? So that's my parent command. Under that, there will be IP address, there will be description. So these are defined under the parameter called lines, or the component called lines. Now the lines are going to be multiple in number, right? So I'll put a dash and then put the first command as IP address 192.168.100.100.255.255.255.255. Then my second command can be about setting description, which says, let's say, configured using YAML data structure. That defines my first task. Now I'll continue and define another task here. So bring the cursor back in the line, put a dash and say name. Second task can be, let's say, configuring OSPF. iOS config is the module that I want to use. Parents command will be router OSPF 10, let's say. Then under that, lines are going to be router ID 1.1.1 and let's say the network command network 172.16.1.0.0.0.255 area 0. That's how a YAML file looks like. So our purpose here was to understand the structure, and I'm sure that this particular example explains it well. We have got multiple number of keys and values here. We have got an example of list also, if you see, right? So we will try to run this file, which will work as a verification for us, whether it will tell us whether this file was written correctly or not. So in order to run this particular file on Ansible, we need a Linux setup. And in order to use Linux bash here on Windows, I have installed WSL. So let me open that and try to run this file. I'll go and search for Ubuntu application. And here I'll navigate to the folder in which these files are stored. Here I'll run the command ansible-playbook. Call my playbook file. Then -i and specify my inventory file like this. and then hit the enter button. This runs the playbook file. It says it's running my first playbook file. Then it says it is running the first task, which is configuring loopback interface. Let's wait. There you go. It has changed router number one. Then it runs the second task configuring OSPF. It has changed router number one. Okay, changes is equals to 2. The main idea of running this file was to make you guys know if this playbook file was written correctly or not. And because it runs absolutely fine, we have got the surety that the syntax and the requirements of YAML file is actually that simple. So they are that easy. You have it in front of your screens. You know how basic it is as we compare it with the other payloads, which are probably written in XML or JSONs. The requirements here, the design here, the readability here is very, very better as compared to the other options which we are available with, right? So keeping that in mind, we'll keep on exploring the more options of automation. We'll explore through the different available protocols that we have in many more other videos. So if you liked this one, then do make sure you like the video and you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. That was all for this video. I'll see you in some other one. Take care. Bye bye.